Alrighty guys, look, if you saw my bacon burger bomb video, you know exactly where we are going with this. The only question I have is on what to name it. Should I name it a cheesesteak bomb, a cheesesteak missile, or even a cheesesteak torpedo? No matter what I call it, I could tell you it is going to be through the roof with flavor. And look, if this is your first time here, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notified every time the channel does a future upload. So look, I've got everything pre-prepped. Let's turn our cameras down to the board. Let me show you what we are going to work with. This is going to be the first part of the cook. Then we will jump on over to the Halo Griddle and fire it up. This cook's going to start out with some peppers and onions. I've got 3 colors of peppers, actually 4. I've got green, red, orange, yellow. And of course, onions, I've got a few different colors there also. This is leftover stuff that was in the fridge from other cooks. Yeah. Onions go down, a little bit of oil down. We will get good contact with the griddle, right? So you want to spread everything apart. And as you can see, we have a griddle temp there on the towards the ends of about 370, 390, in that 300 range, which is perfect. I've had 0 issues controlling any type of heat that I wanted on this Halo griddle, that is for sure. At this point, we'll get a little bit of kosher salt down, a little 16 mesh black pepper down, and a little butter down. Now I will shut down my 2 middle burners, keeping the 2 end burners on full. That helps me control the temp that I want. We want a little lower temp on these peppers, so we'll shut them down. We will get the peppers on. The onions are about 75% cooked. Of course, a little butter down. And there you see we are maintaining in that 300s right in the center. We still got the ends lit up. We're in the 4s over there. Again, man, no big deal with temperatures on this griddle, trust me. Everything comes up nice and slow. Everything griddles out perfectly. At this point, we will join all that goodness together. You see we've got those couple different colors of peppers in there. That just makes everything look even more better. Yeah. So as you can see, I picked up some Halo paraphernalia, and I was wondering what this bad boy right here was for, and I gotta tell you, this is exactly what this is for, and it did a bang-up job. So we will get our peppers and onions off, we will get those on the side, and we will move on to our next step. Alrighty, so look, the cook is going to start really moving along now. We have our peppers and onions off. I've got the pit cooling down a little bit. I don't want it too hot because I'm going to have a lot of things going on. I got to work with this puff pastry. I got to be fast, but I've also got to get it right. Let's go back on the griddle. Let's get our steaks on, and let's finish up this cook. So as noted, I am starting this cook with all burners off. We got some heat retention in that griddle top. We are hovering around 300. I'll get the steak on. I will bring it up slow, and I will probably light the 2 end burners just to hold that 350 type range for the steak, which is perfect. Again, I'm going to have a lot of stuff going on with that puff pastry, just getting things ready. So I don't want this steak to cook too fast. So I am just controlling the temp with zones. of course, anytime you work with this shredded steak here, the most important thing to do to hold against toughness is to just kind of keep shredding it apart with your spatulas. If you don't shred it apart, it's going to be lumpy and it's going to be maybe on the tough side. So just kind of go like that with 2 spatulas and just kind of keep shredding it. Yeah. Down goes a little bit of kosher salt and 16 mesh black pepper. We will mix that in. We are getting close to dumping down that cheese. Oh, yeah. And I am going to be rocking 3 different cheeses on this cheesesteak. And that looks pretty good to me. The peppers and onions will go down first as we incorporate all that goodness together. And there is my shredded mozzarella. This is a whole milk. This is a low moisture mozzarella. Just fold that in. At that point, we will get a little bit of fresh Gouda down, Gouda cheese. If you've never had this Gouda cheese in a cheesesteak, it has great melting and it has a great flavor to boot. And again, a quick fold in, man, we are piping hot. That cheese is gonna goo up. That cheese is gonna melt perfectly. Oh yeah. So look, man, after about 2-3 minutes of getting that cheese on, we will get everything off, get it on the side, because very important here, before you work with that puff pastry, you do not want to put hot steak in the puff pastry. Otherwise, the heat will probably just kind of melt right through it. Yeah. All righty, look, A, it is about 90 degrees out here already. B, I've got my puff pastry here on the board ready to go. I've already got my griddle all cleaned. So let's get on over here to the board. Let's build us a cheesesteak to end all cheesesteaks and finish up the show. I am telling you, if you made it this far into this cook, man, this is one of the best things I've ever cooked on the griddle and probably one of the best cheesesteaks I've ever tasted. And as you can see, man, we are plenty cheesy. So on this fold here, that is 1 sheet of your puff pastry, rolled out thin, fold it in. No special way to do this. Just be careful that you don't rip the puff pastry. This is easy to work with. Oh yeah. You know, I was met with certain challenges on this cook, and I can tell you every challenge was met and every challenge was defeated. Of course, that is some butter down. You can see how hot it is outside. That butter is melted from just sitting there. We got some kosher salt, some black pepper down. And the wire rack is a must for a cook like this. Alrighty, look, so you know the deal here. I've got my 2 burners on the end up on full. I want that heat to radiate around and underneath this torpedo. So let's close the hood and let's see how we do. Alrighty, look, I wanted to bring you back here real quick. We are about 20 minutes into the last process of the cook, or the next to the last process of the cook, as I do have one more surprise up my sleeve. So stay tuned for that. And I have to say, I've got my 2 outside burners on high. We are 600 and change there, 600 and change there, and 300 and change right in the middle. That is perfect. And I gotta say, this cook is going off without a hitch. Let me give you guys a quick peek, as we've got about another 5 minutes to go. So look, we're gonna give this about another 3-4 minutes and we will get it off the Halo Griddle. As long as I can get it off that wire rack without destroying it and getting it on the board, this is gonna be a home run. So this part here was a little bit of touch and go. I kind of had to figure it out as I go. So basically what I am going to do here is use that side rail as a little bit of a stabilizer. You see that Halo has that little cutter on the end of those spatulas. I will just kind of saw this, kind of work this, kind of just push it through and just hope for the best. Yeah. And we got a little bit of sticking, but we got hardly anything dripping down, so that is killer and that is success. Yeah. And hold on, because I am not done with this cook. We are just going to take it through the roof right here. I will slit that top. And this is a late addition to the cook, man. I thought of this probably right before I fell asleep. Luckily, I remembered it the next day. I can tell you that sucker is piping hot, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get some fresh deli sliced provolone cheese. I am going to pile it on top like that. At that point, I will grab my handy little kitchen torch and I will just start to torch this cheese up. And also, I am going to torch the outside of the bread just to make sure it is nice, crispy, good. And let me tell you something, when you make this, and of course you definitely should make this, do not skip on this part because it definitely added to the cook. There is no doubt about it. Yeah. And that's a lot bigger than it looks, man. That's about maybe 14 inches long. You know, this is one of those cooks where you go to sleep at night, you got the cook in your head, and you just kind of run it through. You kind of play the cook through from start to finish and try to come up with anything that can go wrong, because usually when you're filming, something does. On this cook here today, 0 went wrong. I mean, this came out perfect without a hitch, and I got to tell you, man, I am quite proud of this one. I am quite excited about this one, and the way I would probably serve this. Is I would just do individual slices like this and then serve them up. So you got probably, you know, a good 4 people here on this cook, man, and it just looks perfect, man. What else could I say? I am just going to do a little sliver, a little taste test, and close out the show. So I would probably go a little thicker than that per person, and that'll give you a clean slice. And I got to tell you, man, we are plenty cheesy in the middle. Plus, I got that provolone on top. Here we go. Cheers. You know, that is almost like a kind of like a poor man's beef Wellington, I would say, man. That puff pastry rings so true onto what a beef Wellington is. As you can hear my dog down there maybe panting. It is about 90 degrees here, and she is wanting a little bit of cheesesteak, and she is definitely wanting to pool. So we have to wrap this up. All information on this cook will be down in the description. Again, my name is Tommy. If you'd hit that subscribe button, I would certainly appreciate it. We are going to be rocking this griddle all summer long, all year long, and into next year. I can guarantee you that. So look, I got a YouTube join button down below. If you want to support the show that way, I do appreciate it. Also, my Patreons. I got a Patreon. You can support me that way, or you can just support by watching from start to finish and leaving me a comment down below. Everything used on the show is down in the description. I appreciate you all, and until next time, we will see you soon. Guys, hold on, hold on. I wanted to just jump back in here real quick as I am started my cleanup here in the shack, and I am munching on this piece of cheese steak. I got some observation, and one of them, it is extra juicy, man. It is like all the juices from the onions, from the cheese, from the pepper, from the steak, the butter, the oil, the whole bowl of wax is in that puff pastry, because every bite that I've had is just overloaded with the juice. I mean, that is above and beyond the normal cheesesteak, I can guarantee you that. This is a must make, there is no doubt about it.